Welcome, everybody, to episode 258 of the China Show, the real China Show. Area code for?
258 is, so episode 258 is the area code for Mozambique.
Yes, good old Mozambique. Very close to where I used to live, actually.
And you've been there.
Pretty sure when I was young.
Oh, okay. What'd you see, zebras? Or zebras, as you say?
Yeah. Why would I have to go to Mozambique to see zebras? They're in South Africa.
This is true. Maybe they have a different flavor.
They're exactly the same.
Same zebras.
It's about 6 hours drive from where I used to live.
Gotcha.
Is Mozambique, so
Gotcha.
It's the same place.
Okay. Yeah, that would make
Borders
sense.
don't exist. It's just a line.
I know.
Yeah, anyway,
I was
guys.
just thinking, like, as a kid, you're in, like, class or whatever, and you learn about Mozambique, and the zebras are running around. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Anyway,
I'm glad to hear that. Now it's time for us to get on. Guys, listen,
Big one.
everybody knows right now the world's talking about the tariffs and this trade war, this absolutely crazy thing that's going on between America and China. And we're going to get into that. And we've got a lot to talk about that. But we have a full show here, guys, so we're going to have to ease into it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get yippy. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
We have a
exactly.
couple things, though, that I do want to let you know.
Oh, okay.
One of our main topics
get us back to
today
this.
is not only the tariffs and the trade
Yes.
war, but is also some absolute damning stuff that we found that goes against what the Chinese government is claiming right now about not sending soldiers to Russia
Yes.
to fight Ukraine.
We found proof that...
Yes. Well, there was
Yeah,
campaigns.
we got some extra proof, not the stuff you've seen.
No, we got extra proof.
something very special for
Yes.
you. Anyway, let's saunter right into it with what's new. This is where we talk about what's new, specifically with regards to China. We got some funny clips to show you here, and we're starting off with a rat in a restaurant. Well, a mouse. What would you call that?
That looks like a mouse. No, actually, you know what? It is a rat.
No,
it's like a small rat.
Is it a little baby rat?
I think
or
it's
is
a
it,
baby. It's like a young rat.
I don't know. It's very mouse-like to me.
I know what you mean, but it's got rat hair. You know that rat? You know,
I
you know
don't
when
know.
you pet a mouse, it's like very
You
soft.
can ask the audience what they think.
What do
Mouse
you-
or rat, just leave your comment.
I can
Anyway,
poll.
let me explain to you
Mouse
what
or
this
rat?
is. Yeah, let's do a poll. Feel free to answer it at your leisure. Now, guys, what you're seeing here, I'm going to go back a little bit so you can actually get it.
Poll is open.
It's one of those conveyor belt type restaurants. You know, like you get conveyor belt sushi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, round sushi as they call it in Japan. They have this for malatang. Now, malatang is a dish in China where you can see you get different things like the rat mouse hybrid is sitting on cow stomach.
It is. That's like the actual
One of the most.
lining of
It's horrendous to eat for me personally.
I don't like it either.
It's like furry in texture. I can't stomach it. You know.
You know,
Yes.
there's multiple stomachs. There's
That's
the ones
true.
with the
Cows
honeycomb
have-
texture,
yeah.
and then there's the furry one.
Yes.
The different stages.
Yes, because cows have multiple stomachs, right? Well, it's pretty bad. Anyway, the thing is, you get your skewers of whatever. You'll see some. I wonder what's in the front here. Is that kelp seaweed? No, that's just.
No, that looks like cow stomach. That's the white one.
Okay, either way,
Yeah.
you get different bits of things, and then you stick it in like a boiling soup.
Yes.
You know, and it's usually kind of a spicy soup, and then you eat it. So
looks spicy.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is you've got like a sushi thing. You got different kinds of ingredients going past, and you grab it.
I'm sorry, and this won't make sense to you guys if you haven't had it, but the idea of having like conveyor belt malatang is so disappointing. Compared to
It
sushi.
really is. It really is. Especially if you've got a little mouse rat, you know.
Yeah, and especially because they use gutter oil in these
Yes,
kind of places.
yeah, for
so.
sure. Oh, big time. Spit oil specifically. But yeah, that's not what you want to see. But if you go to a fancy malatang restaurant in China, well, you may get more than you bargained for.
Yeah.
Over here-
Pause that quick because I'm going to pull the poll here. It was very close.
Yeah.
It was very close. I thought it would teach us something, but mouse got 53%, rat got 46%. So it's really hard
I'm
to
team
tell.
mouse. I'm team mouse.
I think I might go mouse too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what we've got here is, you know, when you get those fire extinguishers in offices and in houses and
Yeah,
stuff.
like the sprinklers.
The sprinkler systems, and they've got a little system there that when it detects heat, it actually like breaks and then the water comes out.
Yeah, there's like a micro thermometer thing built in
Yeah.
each one.
Well, apparently this one made in China doesn't work very well because even a blowtorch directly to it is not causing it to activate.
Maybe
Which
it was
is-
too hot. It's too
Oh,
hot.
yeah. Yeah, it's possible. Anyway, just be aware. We can't continue an episode without a little bit of tofu dregs, though.
Oh,
As you can see-
brought your appetites.
Let me take that down.
That's like-
Unfortunately, this almost new building complex over here all 6. I think it's 6 balconies that you can see
You
over
say
there.
almost new. It's literally just built.
It's just built. Yeah.
Yeah, it
1,
is
2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6 over there, right? There's probably one hidden.
6-floor walk up.
Yeah, they all collapsed simultaneously. Now, thank goodness nobody was standing on them.
Yes.
And I mean, look, just this is the risk you take because those are doors. Okay, people walk out onto the balcony. That's where you go hang your clothes or do something, right?
Yeah.
And they all collapsed. It's very unsettling to think that families could have moved in there.
I know.
And kids could be playing on the balcony or something.
Break on through to the other
Yeah,
side.
just saying, you know.
I should play that song.
Okay.
It broke, and you said the doors. Come
Yes,
on.
yeah, I suppose that didn't work out. Though.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Bollard.
Anyway.
Oh,
Well, I got to go back because we didn't
you
hear the
missed
proper.
the
I'm so
intro.
sorry. I was trying to put up the volume.
Come on.
I'll get back to the Bollard report. We
Bollard
got our Bollard report coming. I'm sorry, guys. Here
It's
we
all
go.
right. It's not your fault.
Here it comes.
I get how it
Yeah.
works. We can see a little more drag.
Yeah, see the dregs of the tofu. Don't film.
Don't film.
Don't film.
Bollard. Bollard.
Today's Bollard report. What do we have today?
What looks like a very strange situation.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just take the volume down. What you have here is urban management. They're there to try get rid of the food stalls, unregulated food stalls. And this guy has his food stall in the back of a 3-wheel tricycle. And I mean,
He's rolling.
he managed to get away.
Yes.
Here's another one where a guy's just trying to pull his cart. Well, the cup.
Look at the kerosene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the propane just being
propane,
dragged
sorry.
on the floor. The urban management are stealing his store because that's what they do. Is they're thieves. Mm-hmm. They confiscate, but then they never give it back. They steal.
They're just thugs.
Yeah. So it's a Bollard report. Why?
Well, look at those bollards.
Because there's some very special, colorful bollards over here.
China's been putting
Talk
down
about a
bollards. China's been putting down bollards around the country to stop mass murders. People are running each other in droves on purpose.
Yeah.
So they
Revenge
thought,
against society.
revenge against
attacks.
society. So they thought, hey, if we put up these bollards, it'll stop it. Unfortunately, a lot of them are fake. A lot of them are hollow, as we've shown.
A lot of them are very easy to just pick up and move out of the way.
Some guys are humping them in the streets.
Yeah,
as
and
we showed last
exactly.
episode.
If you crash into them, they just go flying.
Yeah, it's like a. What is it like?
It's like air
shuffle
hockey.
puck?
Yeah, it's like air hockey. Yeah.
Sorry. that's
Exactly. Same idea.
See these bollards though; they're very interesting colors. We had not seen. Have you? I hadn't seen these.
No, I think it's a good idea. It raises awareness to the bollards that are there.
It does.
Yeah. Anyway, and at the same time, you can see how the urban management thugs work in China. Because listen, I'll be honest: street sellers, street vendors, they take the piss in China.
do.
They really are a nuisance a lot of the
They do.
times. They just set up anywhere.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's part of why China is great.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
fun.
yeah, because you can get street food in random places.
Yeah.
But the urban management are way worse.
They're way worse. I would pick the
I
seller's
choose
side.
I choose the side of the street food vendors.
Yes.
Even though they're selling you poison most of the time.
Yes, but those Chongguan or the what is it, urban management
Chongguan, yeah.
Those guys are vile. They literally punch old women.
Yes, they're horrible, and they destroy. Like if someone's got fruit or vegetables or watermelons, they smash them or stand on them, or they get rid of them and they steal them, and then they steal all their carts and their bicycles and stuff too.
Yeah, we've actually done on our supplemental show on Patreon. We've done a whole thing about Chongguan because they are a part of Chinese society and they're the lowest rung of society.
Yes, and he's busy selling chow fan, chow mein, so
Yeah.
fried rice and fried noodles.
Yeah,
At least he was until
was.
these guys turned
Bollard.
up.
it was.
Okay.
Oh, we are doing a super chat goal reward. Pause. We're
Okay.
going to tell you what we're going to get. Oh, you tell them what we're
Doubleception.
going to get.
All
I'll
right.
set
In
it
fact,
up.
how about this? We did an episode about the 90s in China on
did.
our secret show, Shaban Ho. If we reach our super chat goal today, which you'll see will pop up, then we're going to release this publicly to you guys in the chat right now.
Yes.
You know, if we reach the goal, and then of course we'll put it in the description and in the pinned comment for people later. Only if we reach the goal.
Yeah, so this goal today is for everyone. You'll get an episode which is really fun. It was fantastic.
Well, I mean, let's just show them.
Yeah, let's show a couple bits from
Yeah. Like, this is what you're gonna get. Let me get this volume up. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You're a live DJ.
Yeah, I'm doing a poor job at this today. But let's play this. You'll see if we reach the super chat goal, this is what you get to see. Okay?
It's a gift to everyone.
9 people killed. Here's a Black Hawk helicopter surveying the scene. We know the NTSB.
I know you did.
Yeah.
the development of the economy or something else.
And we tell the teacher our wishes, and the teacher will, and we will be assigned according to
The need of the country.
our own will and the need of the country. I'm so deeply in love with the streets here, with the city, with every rivers, with every mountains, every park. Oh, I love this place.
Of the time. This is my favorite song of the 90s. It's actually the biggest song, chart-wise, of the entire 90s in China. Just still, oh no, you're missing this out.
Oh, that's your favorite.
You gotta go back.
You set up some photos. I haven't seen them yet.
Yes, and you guys are gonna vote. I'm gonna look. I'm not gonna do a poll, but I'll
No,
look
we're
in
just
the
gonna
chat.
look. Okay, so let's take a look.
90s or now?
Yes.
Your guess is as good as any today on 90s or now. Pause it. All right, first up. So Winston's gonna play with you guys at
Yeah.
home.
Oh, it was the 90s.
It
All
was
right.
the 90s.
Very good for those of you who guessed 90s.
These 90s. Now.
Okay, let's look.
Now. Stick
it's,
dealer.
It's now. Anyway.
My favorite thing about this, though, this entire ad is the 8-second unadulterated chug.
Yeah, and she's like
As she
dripping.
drips it. It's a
Yeah.
one-take chug. There's no cut. Usually it'd be like a quick sip.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, let's hold the shot for 8 seconds and let it run down your face.
Yeah.
And somehow it does make it more appealing.
You
The-
think so?
The horrifically brown teeth.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
the best choice.
No. What? You missed the spot. She's like, oh, I can breathe again. But yeah, like seriously, she's got some really brown teeth. Oh, look at that, Sony Ericsson.
Oh, nice.
Shop selling those paper things you can burn.
Oh, yeah, those offerings. This is nostalgic.
Family planning is a citizen's responsibility, is what it said.
Look,
Okay, so that's if we reach the super chat goal, that's the episode we're going to release.
Yes, so if we hit those 50 super chats, make sure you put it in if you want to, and if you don't, you're still gonna get it because even if you can't afford to do so or whatever, the generous people that donate to today's episode and make that possible, everyone gets it.
Yeah,
Everyone gets the link.
If we reach the goal,
Yes.
everyone gets it.
And that episode is chock full of nostalgia of China in the 90s, teaches you a lot about what life was like, has very rare interviews with like English-speaking people in
Yeah,
the
we
90s.
got some very good old footage to
Very
show
cool.
you, some footage that we shot ourselves and
couple
things.
games.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, time for us to continue with the show, guys.
Yes.
Please, let's see what's up next. Now, a little bit of a throwback to what we did a couple of weeks ago is remember when robots were a big thing? They still are in China. They're still pushing this humanoid robot thing, but we've got something
flashback.
very interesting. So, quick flashback.
a group of dancing grannies are enjoying their relaxing time. But did you notice? A special friend joined them today.
A friend. A friend. A friend. A friend. A friend.
Tình mù lắm á. Cái một sao gì chứ? Yêu thương, yêu friend.
Various types of robots. Various types of robots.
Okay.
So memory. So yeah, update.
Yeah.
Give us an update.
Well, first of all, China's been doing a lot of propaganda about these self-driving delivery vehicles that they've got.
Because that's a dystopia I want to live in.
Yeah, well, it turns out that they're also very good at crashing into people, potentially grinding them into mincemeat and then stealing their bike and taking it, who knows where. What?
They eat them.
Yeah,
it
to
around
take
the
fuel.
corner, it goes,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you're a kid, you think that's how a robot would. They eat
Yeah.
a metal to stay alive.
That's right. But quite honestly, though, this is pretty scary. The fact that it's crashed into a motorcycle,
It
an
keeps
electric
going.
motorcycle, its one wheel is actually stopped and it's dragging this motorcycle along. What happened to the rider?
Dude, that's what I want to know.
Where
I hope
is
they
the
were on
rider?
the bike. You know
Yes.
they probably were though, because it was
Yes.
probably at a traffic.
Yeah, there probably was a
intersection.
collision.
Yeah.
That's a very worrying thing. Seriously.
Pretty shocking.
Yeah, so there's
bad.
some mincemeat somewhere on the road, and they're just
Dude.
taking the evidence away. They're like, I better hide this.
Minced IE.
Yeah, I know. But seriously, though, this is not a good idea. It shows you how poor it is, because I think any kind of what do you call it? Automaton or whatever, any vehicle that can, autonomous vehicle, that's what I was looking for. It should be able to notice that one of its wheels isn't turning, at the very least.
Yeah, because that is autonomous.
Yes, exactly. But, it should have sensors to tell it, hey, I've collided with something. Let's stop.
Bro, I can't stop thinking about this having sharp teeth going, eating
Exactly.
that. It's going to eat it
Well,
later. Oh, dude,
well-
this is going to, I'm telling you, this is going to go viral. I'm
We'll
calling
see,
this
we'll
in
see.
isolation. This is the reality of China's robotics industry.
Yes.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Look at all the awards this place won. This is a
Yeah.
massage parlor.
Yeah.
China's at the forefront of robotics.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's
This
go
isn't a
through this.
joke.
Okay, let's go through this.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, but the fact that they got fake hands doing this,
It's dystopian. Is that not like steampunk,
it's horrible.
torture chamber?
It's horrible. And what is this one? Okay, this has got there's a cloth there.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably doing some kind of vibration thing.
What's that ball sack
What
thing?
is this dong-looking thing hanging
Dude,
here?
everything about this is disgusting. The mold on the walls,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yet it simultaneously has every award in the history of mankind.
Yes, you can see it all in those cloth award
yeah,
things.
those are awards
Yeah.
from the CCP.
Yeah, I mean, what? Okay, so then you've got an assistant positioning something here on someone's hip.
Doesn't that look like a torture? You know, like
No, it looks like a sewing machine.
it does.
Doesn't
but
it look like she's about to go like in a
Yes.
sweatshop?
Yes, it sounds like Chewbacca there. It reminds me of Princess Leia. They're like in a torture, and they bring that torture
that's-
thing in.
yes.
Whatever it is.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
This is disturbing.
Yeah, I don't know what that specific thing is supposed to be. This person's just what's happening here?
That was actually the e-bike driver.
Yeah, I mean, she's just
She
lying
looks
there.
like a corpse.
Yeah, quite seriously. And then this guy, it looks like it's wiggling his finger or something.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
There's a man laying down to do this.
Laying down, and that thing's wiggling his finger with a little rubber band or something. It's his finger's getting a little. What's going on?
They got an award for this.
Yeah, he got an award for the finger wiggler.
For high technology.
I mean, dude, what is this dystopian nonsense?
This is China's robotics industry.
Yeah.
This is it's shocking.
Yeah.
Can you go back to just before we get this?
Okay,
Can
before
I
we
see
get
the
to the
slap? I just
Oh
want to
yeah,
see
you can see the slap one.
with the audio.
Okay.
Because I love his
okay,
voice.
Okay, yeah, we'll go from the beginning. Sorry, we'll just go. Yeah.
Just have to see the slap. That's disturbing.
It's not even relaxing.
No, you're a dismembered robot slapping your ass.
Yeah, while you're sitting there, all these other people trying to I don't know.
Fingers waggled.
Yeah, it's sitting there.
I just love it.
Yeah.
That
I'm
is-
sorry, but that's just absurd. That's China level absurd over here.
That's my favorite clip this month.
Is this? I mean, dude,
so
you
gross
think of
and-
going to a spa or something for a nice massage, but
Yeah,
this is
you give
end
your
up
wife
here.
a coupon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the ladies to the spa or whatever, and this is where they go. You get their fingers waggled and slapped by a robot that swears at them
It's so bad.
in a Cantonese accent.
Yeah, it's so bad. Anyway, let's. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on to the more important stuff.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so the more important stuff, which I'll fast forward. We've seen it.
Can we have a soundbite, by the way?
What of this?
Of that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, please do. I'll make that into a soundbite because it's absurd.
It is.
It's just absurd.
It is.
Okay, so trade war time, guys.
Yes.
Do you want to know something ridiculous?
What?
Before I even get into this, people seem to forget, okay, that the exact same political party, the exact same government that was in charge during the Tiananmen Square massacre is still in charge today.
Yeah, they didn't change.
It's the exact same party, the exact same people that were in charge during that time are still there. And before that, the exact same political party, the exact same structure, everything that killed tens of millions of Chinese people.
Of their own.
Yes. It's the same government.
Yes.
Can you imagine a government that failed their own people so badly and yet still remained in power?
No.
Yeah, it's
No.
bad, right?
Actually, I think it's the only kind of lasting example of that in a way.
Yeah.
That murdered, 70 million people?
And, the thing is, the Chinese government has for a long time kind of tried to distance itself from the image of Mao Zedong killing everybody, of the Tiananmen Square massacre. They pretend it never existed, right?
Right.
That type of thing. They've been on the international stage, they've kind of, distanced themselves. Within China, though, you see portraits of Mao everywhere. There's a lot of they openly praise Mao Zedong. Okay, but now the veil has slipped.
要打多久？我讲我们不要做决定。过去是有到了门，以后是有20号或者美国的将来的什么总统由他们去决定。就是说，他们要打多久就打多久。
So
This is something that's when I was learning history, we learned about how Mao was one of the worst mass murderers in the history of mankind.
Yes.
This, like you said, this is something that China keeps internally versus externally,
Sure.
right? So internally, they say Mao was good. He made new China. He made communist China. Externally, they go, oh, don't worry about that guy.
Yeah, there were
different
mistakes
now.
in the past, but now it's all good.
We're different now. I cannot believe this is official.
Yes, this is Mao Ning. She is the official China spokesperson, for the foreign ministry. Okay, never mind the fact that she's probably related to Mao. We could be making this up, but first of all, she's got the same surname as Mao Zedong. She's from the same hometown.
Yes, literally town, not city, town.
Not only the same area,
Yes.
but the same hometown.
Yes.
And she got a high-level government position, which would all check all the boxes of, yes, she's a relative of Mao
I think if
Zedong.
he took their pictures and he did like a...
And now she's like, oh, like grandfather Mao, I can show him again.
They claim she's not related.
No,
Anyway,
obviously,
that's
but that's just speculation on our behalf. But the fact of the matter is they've pulled out this old archival crap about Mao Zedong saying, we'll never yield to the Americans, right?
Yeah, I don't want to tell you guys how to feel, but I have to tell you how important this is in rhetoric shift for the CCP. We read China. We read Chinese propaganda.
Yes.
We tell you, we interpret it for you. This is very bad.
Yes,
very bad.
It is very bad. Also, specifically since it was only a very short time after this speech that Mao ended up basically killing tens of millions of Chinese people. And I mean, I don't want to sound like a crackpot here, but what? History repeats itself.
Yes.
And if they're going down this road again,
Yes.
you know what happened last time? Is he made this speech, we'll never yield, we'll never back down, and tens of millions, some people say up to 80 million Chinese people died because of his disastrous policies, because he wouldn't back down.
No. If you follow military strategy or try to read what countries are trying to do, if you're in that sphere of things like defense or something, you would look at this. Look at what just happened here. This is a signal to the rest of the world that China is about to do something bad.
This is a signal to the rest of the world that China is now willing to sacrifice its own
Yes.
people
In something bad.
just to protect its pride.
Yes. Yes.
And they will.
They will. And they have over and over again.
Yeah. Why are you clapping for that douche?
Little did they know what
Yes.
was about to happen.
We will fight until we completely triumph. Okay, so we've all seen this My Dictator's, blood graph. But just to remind people that, Mao Zedong is responsible for more deaths than Hitler and Stalin combined.
Yes.
Okay, so when you think about bad people, a lot of people always say, oh, Hitler was a bad man. You think about Stalin, yeah, he was a bad man. But not that many realize that Mao Zedong is worse than all of them combined. And Pol Pot.
In terms of numbers.
Yes, in terms of the amount of Chinese people that he killed. And he killed more Chinese people than the Japanese invaders ever did.
By leaps and bounds.
Yeah, exactly. He's a bad guy. You shouldn't be putting him out there as your state image.
He has the OG high score.
Yes.
I mean, this is like when you go to the arcade and then his
Mao
is
is at the top.
You write ass or
Peasant
whatever
Slaughter,
is your name.
is the game.
Yes.
And it's like Mao is like at
your
the top.
ass, you're like ass, like 10 billion.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
he's up there. Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, he's a horrible man. So anyway, rather than just do it once, they double down. Okay, so Mao Ning put this out again. China
not
never
good.
bluffs. And we see through those who do.
I don't want to fearmonger. I'm telling you, though, when you read the tea leaves here, this is very bad because China was playing this whole everyone needs to work together. We need to trade together. China is so peaceful. We don't get involved in international conflicts, which you're going to see is not true later.
Yes.
They are putting out imagery and quotes and videos of something that represents China at its worst and most belligerent. It's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
So, here it's Mao Zedong calling America a paper tiger. It's interesting because at the end of the day, if you look at it, the kind of rhetoric that Mao Zedong was putting out, he was just describing himself, describing his own country.
Can I reply to his quote there?
Sure.
No, you.
Can I do a no you?
You can. We should have a no you with that Mao, that dude that made the
shot the Mao.
thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Anyway.
So I have to point out now, this very stupid thing has started to happen, which happened last time during the tariffs.
Yeah. Or
is
trade
you've
war,
got during the trade war, sorry. And you've seen this. Well, it depends on what country they're angry with at the time.
Can be Canada, can be France,
can be Japan, can be whatever.
Today's definitely America.
So
I think we're winning.
You've got businesses now in China putting up signs, like this jewelry business is putting up a sign saying that all American customers will be charged an additional 104%. And if you've got problems with that, you can go to the embassy, basically.
I got a rant about this, but maybe we'll look at it first.
First of all, I want to say this.
Okay, well, you want to start with
I just want to say, like, the chances of him ever getting an American customer are like minus 10,000.
Minus 10,000. There's a good stat.
There's no Americans going to walk into this little shop in this little area of this place to go and try buy something.
Winston, tell me that is not the most pure analogy for this very trade war.
Yes.
To pretend like the Americans are going to come out on the bottom of this.
To pretend that Americans are going to want to this.
That's what I'm saying.
This little shop in the middle of nowhere to buy this.
It's pretending your value is so elevated in this global economy and this America-China trade, even though the statistics consistently point at China needs America so much more than vice versa. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
How does this logic work on a small and large scale?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And I just wanted to show you that, of course, when something like this gets done in China, people start to just go with the trends. So, lots of stores were putting up on their digital signs and on their signs things like this. Starting from today, our store will charge a 104% service fee to American customers. If you have any questions, please consult the U.S. Embassy.
The previous sign, I just want to say, somebody in the chat said, what are the chances an American's going to be able to read it?
That's also true.
He just wrote it in moon runes.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
They're like,
you think Americans can read Chinese? Yeah, we do.
And I promise you this, if an American did walk in there and said they wanted to buy something, and then they're like, I'm going to like this, they'd be like, well, okay. They'd walk out, they'd be like, no, come back. I was just joking.
Yes.
Because they want the sale.
Yes.
Here you can see it at a restaurant outside the frontier. Again, the same copy-paste thing. This was before, this is before the thing went up to more.
Yeah, 125.
125. You can see the date there's yesterday, by the way, at the bottom. See, this is a handwritten version of it at probably like a coffee shop or a hair salon or whatever that no American would ever go to anyway.
Yeah, they're going to read that and be like, they're going to walk outside and go, shucks.
Yes. But now I wanted to show you something because we called this from the beginning.
We did.
Remember when Mao Ning, who is the foreign ministry spokesperson, opened her Twitter account? It was only in February 9th, okay? Not that long ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah, all right? Excited to join X, looking forward to sharing updates on China's foreign policy and relations and much beyond. Let's work together to foster understanding and friendship.
You have this outward kind of like photo of her getting involved with a bunch of people from foreign countries being like, look, let's take a selfie.
Yes. So it always works this way. They worm their way into the foreign platform.
Chinese government.
Yes, the Chinese government. Here you go. This is a Chinese government official. This is the official spokesperson. The Foreign Ministry of China gets an X account, a Twitter account, and then all of a sudden they're putting stuff out about like, we will never yield.
Like
we are Chinese. We're not afraid.
We're going to fight.
We won't back down.
And then it's Mao's like wartime rhetoric against the U.S.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, exactly.
Went from 0 to 60 real effing fast.
And it's like, look you are the ones who will lose. To find out who truly pays for tariffs, simply ask the ones footing the bill. And they like interview American people people about how bad it is. So it goes from let's foster understanding to like, now we're going to blame you. We're going to use your own system to blame you, to attack you, to insult you.
This is what happens when you let the Chinese government on platforms they block for their own people.
Yes.
They use it only to hurt America.
Yes.
We've said this for how many years now? Look at where we are with the TikTok situation.
Yep.
Now we're in some sort of like weird thing where you have to bargain and, you know, maybe make a deal and all this kind of stuff. China shouldn't have been involved from day one.
Sure.
If this is what's happening on X after 2 months, think about what happened to the TikTok audience.
Yeah,
Look what happened with Red Note.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's so simple, guys.
It's
you
war.
can see it. It's literally like, let's be friends and let's like, we want to use the platform for understanding. You suck. You're the worst. China's better than you. All that kind of stuff.
It is weaponized information warfare.
Try to do that on a Chinese platform.
Good luck.
Chinese people can't even do that.
No.
A Chinese person who likes America.
go to jail.
You cannot go onto a Chinese platform like Weibo and say that America is better than China.
No.
Never mind an American. American can't. Imagine the American government going on and creating an official Weibo and saying like, we will stand resolutely and beat you down because we're better than you. Do you think that could happen?
No, because in this world, only America's bad. Remember ABP?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Only America's bad.
Yes, and what aboutism we trust. Anyway, another thing that's been making the rounds now is a 1960s children's song, which goes, America is a robber. Okay, let's take a look. Smile on your face. I just wanted to show you the translation of what it says because it's hot right now. U.S. tariff policy. Will the 60s children's song become popular? This battle we have been preparing for a long time.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, it says like, smile on your face. A big knife in the back. Stab you in the back. Want everything. What? If you don't get him, grab it. Get to him, grab it. Occupying land and houses. His ambition is greater than the sky. Want to grab the earth and move it home. Kind of reminds me of how China is actually digging up all this earth in Africa and stuff and shipping it back to refine it in China to get the aluminium.
You know what, China? I'm so happy. Actually, I'm incredibly devastated that you're just saying the quiet part out loud now. All these horrible, horrible ambitions of war and pain and suffering to bring to your own people, to sacrifice them for nothing, is coming back and you're proud of it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. By the way, I can't stand it when they use children in wartime propaganda.
But China loves that.
Yeah, it's their thing.
Yeah.
It's their terse.
This is projection.
Yes. I like America, but better watch out, guys, because China announces it will reduce Hollywood movie imports. Oh, no.
Good.
Yes. I want to say good.
There was a time period, and I talked to some Hollywood people, some execs.
Yeah,
about
we
this.
actually were interviewed by someone.
And spoke to people in the industry. Can you make us big for this? I just don't want to be him looming over me.
Yeah, we can loom over him.
We can loom over him. So
have a drink of shut the hell up.
in these conversations,
in
the beginning, Hollywood goes, and it's good soft power. Hollywood goes, we're going to use, we can use a new open market of China to get American ideals in there: equality, freedom, open road, right? All the things that people like about the U.S. And we can use those films not as propaganda, but as a way to bring those two countries closer together because we can understand each other. And unfortunately, to a certain extent worked. It made people interested in America and China. But what China did was the China thing. They said, no, not all of the films. We'll cherry pick some that we approve. And what that ended up doing was force the market to change to China's tastes. So then now you couldn't make a movie for America that had the wrong map of China in it. You had to get rid of certain things that China found insensitive. You had to actually play into the hands of the CCP to make a Hollywood film.
It was
Those days
infuriating.
are over.
I mean, you would see like a Transformers movie that's got like China-only milk products being advertised in it, like Mengniu and stuff.
But worse off is the censorship.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everything got censored. You couldn't say things, that would upset the Chinese government, not the people, because it's not the
No.
people that ever get upset.
They don't,
It's
yeah.
the Chinese government. Then you're like, you hurt the feelings of the
Yes.
Chinese people because you had this actor in it.
Hollywood had to
Yeah.
go to the censorship board of the Chinese government.
Yes.
If those days are over, then I celebrate it
Me
because
too.
it's not worth it.
Because you know what? Hollywood films deteriorated in quality so much when they started to have to self-censor. And they did self-censor because
Yeah.
they want their film to end up in China.
Yeah.
So they start like they will hire an actress from China or something that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad actress. Not about like there's nothing wrong with Chinese actresses,
No,
but they
there's
will
lots
just
of great
yeah,
actresses.
you hire a sucky actor just because you want to
Have
appeal
fill
to the
that role,
Chinese
yeah.
market. you
and
know?
hope they pick your film to be sold in China.
Yeah, exactly. They really messed up the industry, so I'm glad about this. We don't need to sell movies to China,
No.
you know?
No. We do
So,
not.
good.
Good.
Thank you, Xi Jinping. Now, this is very telling and very worrying for the people of China because, look, as much as we make fun of the CCP, as much as we dislike the CCP, we've got nothing against the people of China. And it's actually one of the main reasons why we criticize the CCP so much is because we actually do care about Chinese people. We have a lot invested, having lived there for over a decade each, you know, having Chinese family, Chinese wives, Chinese friends and colleagues in China. We actually do care about Chinese people. And what's happening now is going to affect the Chinese people drastically. And I just have to say off the bat here, the average American person, even a very low-income American person, will be able to struggle but still survive when the prices of groceries go up, when the prices of rent go up. People will be able to make a plan. Okay, it's going to be horrible for people. But in China, they don't have that luxury. People are struggling already. When the prices go up in China and when the orders go away from all the factory workers, people are going to lose their jobs. And it's going to be very difficult for the average Chinese person. Very, very difficult. Far more difficult than it will be for the average American person.
Is no comparison.
Yeah, it's just you can't even come close. That's why it's so worrying when they're putting out Mao Zedong, because they basically are saying, we're willing to sacrifice.
We've done it before, we'll do it again.
We're willing to sacrifice the average Chinese person, their livelihood, their happiness, and their lives,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, just to keep face.
Yeah.
Rather than back down. And this is a good example of that. This is a state-owned enterprise putting out an advert that says 吃大苦, which means eat bitter.
Yeah, 干细活赚小钱.
Exactly. Do meticulous work and earn less money. What kind of an advert is that? Suffer, do a good job, and earn less money.
Yes.
And like be proud of it.
Yeah, this is like framed as a positive thing.
It's-
Like
of
it's
course.
kind of like everyone, let's suffer together. We got this.
Exactly. But I mean, come on, like does that make you want to work for that company? It's literally saying suffer, work real well, and earn less money. It's not something that you want.
This is worrying.
It's very worrying. So these adverts were all over, as you can see here, also in digital form. And for those of you who don't know, the way it works is in your apartment complex, when you go down to the elevators, it was quite embarrassing because I was once on these digital adverts.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, so you know, you go into like a apartment complex and you're waiting for your elevator, they play adverts, right? It's kind of dystopian in a way.
It is very. They've
You
been
know?
doing it way before anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, they also play it inside some of the
Yes.
elevators in the more fancier places. And of course, bus stations and train stations and wherever else, right? Here you can see it says L1, level 1. Okay. And I like the fact that you've got a reflection. It says Huawei and Luk Fook Jewelry. So this is definitely inside a mall. This is inside a shopping mall. Anyway, so they were putting them all over the place. And it's the same ad. And they started to get a lot of backlash because people were worried when they started to see this advert.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, saying
is
the
a
quiet part out loud.
This is a state-run company.
Yeah.
This is like the government-run company putting this up. So apparently, from what we can see here, this internal message is leaked out. And what it says is all units should immediately check.
So basically,
Whether
they
there
basically
are-
want them to remove.
Yeah, they were
this.
like basically saying, you can take a look.
Yeah.
It's very small. Our screen, we got to move it closer.
Yeah,
So
we do.
it's like way up there. It's up on the wall. Like if you can imagine a gym hall ceiling,
Yes.
like
It's
far
like that,
away.
yeah.
It's our office isn't that big, but it feels like that because we've got a tiny TV up there. Anyway, so basically they were saying quickly take it down because this is causing too much uproar, and then they like removed the ads completely.
Yes. Yeah,
But it's very worrying that kind of thing is going out right now.
it is. It really
And that's here's something else.
Can you put it at full volume? So this is Victor Gao. This is a very important person within the CCP, and they basically send him around when they need people to stop arguing about how China is being really bad. So
this guy's despicable.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, at least what they tell him to do is.
Well, remember what he said about the Uyghurs? Like,
he did this forum debate type thing, and he sat there and basically said, people in Xinjiang, Uyghurs are not allowed to see their families.
Yeah, it's like we will deal with you.
And they had Uyghurs in the audience, and they were like, then stop being a Uyghur, basically, stop breaking the law,
Yeah.
And this guy is just. For all intents and purposes, you have to understand he's like an attack dog.
Yes, he is like an attack dog.
And this woman, it was this on British media, right?
Yeah, Channel 4.
Asked him a very poignant question. What you'll hear in this is that she uses an actual fact and asks him about it, and he can't reply with any facts.
Yeah, let's see what he says.
In this scenario, to use your metaphor, the US has the bigger gun, and so China ends up having more to lose from this trade war, doesn't it? It can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e. what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
Okay, can you go back to just do a freeze frame there?
Yeah.
Everything he said was just emotionally charged bullshit. Mm-hmm. He didn't reply with an actual fact or solution. She said, this is in layman's terms, you need America. Perhaps America doesn't need you as much, right?
Yes.
His reply is, we don't care. That is literally like a 13-year-old boy that slams his door and says, Mom, stay out, I'm gaming. Only gamers allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's that energy.
Yeah.
You don't get to win an argument by not saying anything and just being an annoying little immature brat.
Yeah, we don't care.
You care.
You do
care.
By the way, let me just quash this 5,000-year thing. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. But first of all, it's very debatable about the whole 5,000 years of history thing. I'm not going to get into that. The fact of the matter is that China's only, 75 years old?
1949.
Yeah. Well, what? You better at math than me.
74 years old.
Yeah, 74. Old, yeah. So China is younger than Trump.
76 years old this year. China's younger than Trump.
Like China, as we know.
It actually is.
China, with this Communist Party China, what this guy represents is younger than Trump. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of crazy. The whole idea of China as we know it today, a China that manufactures, a China with fancy, flashy buildings and high-speed rails, a China that we know today is a very young country. It hasn't been around for 5,000 years. In fact...
Let's be fair, though. It's not a rich country.
No.
The fancy buildings is like city centers.
Come on. The GDP of Shanghai is way less than the GDP of Mississippi.
Yeah. I mean, that's the nicest city in China.
Yeah, when you see all those flashy buildings and stuff.
So the worst place in America has a higher per person GDP, per capita GDP than Shanghai,
which is the best, most expensive city. Yeah, you have to actually sometimes put these things into perspective. But what I'm saying is, before 1949, China was not really in a very good state. It got real bad during the communist rule, much worse. And then it's recently raised up. The only reason why it is in its position right now is because of trade with the rest of the world. Particularly America. Because China allowed investment. Okay, so people went to China to invest. People helped, the international community helped lift China out of poverty by using labor, by setting up factories, by directly investing. China would be still a struggling, starving, North Korea-esque place today if it wasn't for the United States. This whole thing about 5,000 years of history is crap anyway. Every single place in the entire world where there are humans can claim 5,000 years of history.
Yes.
You'll find some bones there.
Also, it's wrong even by his example. I'll tell you why. China's collapsed how many times? 5,000 years ago, it wasn't called China. No. It was some warring states. in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You've claimed, captured land when you weren't even called China, when you were under many different dynasties. They weren't
Genghis Khan.
China. Genghis Khan, the Yuan dynasty, conquered all of China under Mongolia. You are not China.
Yeah.
China is a new concept
Yep.
and has failed over and over again and collapsed and imploded.
Yeah.
And it's going to do it again if it continues on
Yes,
this
if
path.
this is the wrong attitude to have.
It's wrong.
And China has been taking advantage of the rest of the world for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
You know that saying, give it a bully an inch, they'll take a mile?
Yes.
That is China.
Yes.
Once they were added to the World Trade Organization,
Yep.
they have abused every single loophole. They've been very bad when it comes to stealing IP.
Trillions of dollars in IP.
They haven't allowed litigation in their own courts. If you find that your product has been knocked off in China, you can't go and sue them for copyright. They won't allow you. You're not allowed to. I mean, remember, Michael Jordan's whole
Yes.
logo and name and everything
Yes.
was stolen and he lost.
If you make a product right now in America, can you get rid of him? I can't look at him anymore.
Sure.
If you get
Got the bollard here. Here's a little bollard report.
If you and I start a business, okay,
Yeah.
we go and start a business. It's called ABC Corporation, whatever. And we make the cool frisbee that goes really far.
Sure.
Right. Within a month, that will be taken by a Chinese company. Even if we don't manufacture in China, they'll figure out how to copy this design, make their own version, and sell it at 90% less cost.
Yeah.
We will get pushed out of the market by Chinese copycat companies, not even in our country, that are able to then take that cheap product and then for free ship it across the world to the American customer.
And it'll, ship it
Yes.
cheaper here. Remember the guy who made that mousetrap?
Yes,
He made that really
Yeah.
good mousetrap and it went viral because it was so effective. Within like a weeks, China had copied it and we're already underselling him in his own market.
Because he can't ship it to
Yes.
Americans in America, even though it
Yes.
was made in America.
Yeah.
Couldn't ship it door to door as cheaply as China can send it across the world with
Yes.
his rip-off copycat product that
Correct.
he can't sue them for.
Exactly. That's just an example. Personally, we both know people who lost out big in China, who went there to do the R&D, that set up
Yes.
the factories, like that guy who made the Bluetooth speakers.
Yes.
He made this fantastic idea of one of the first ever small Bluetooth speakers that had good bass, and it was amazing. And the people that he was working with stole his designs and started to make it on the side and undercut him.
Because there are no repercussions.
Yes.
And yet China thinks that they can attract international investment because they... Why do you think they're putting up such a fight and actually like arresting people that are restricting or making it look bad to do foreign investment in China? Because they need it so bad.
Yeah.
Because that's how China got wealthy. When I say wealthy, relatively compared to the past.
Oh, yeah.
Still a
I
poor
mean,
country.
the entire country's economy is based on the fact that they were allowed to trade with the outside world.
Yes.
And remember this, guys, one thing I really have to make very clear is you hear this statistic going around about China lifting 800 million people out of poverty. And they're attributed to the Communist Party.
We have 800 now? I thought it was 600.
Whatever,
Yeah,
it changes.
Yeah.
It's a lie. First of all, they lowered the benchmark for what being poor is, okay? But that's not the main reason is. The reason why Chinese people managed to become more rich has got nothing to do with the Communist Party. In fact, it's the fact that the Communist Party lifted the boot off of their necks for a minute and allowed them to do business and allowed them to use their entrepreneurial spirit
And
and
participate.
Because Chinese people are very good at business if you
Yes.
let them do it.
Yes.
They're very, very good at mustering all their ideas and,
For sure.
and getting down to work and doing stuff. But the Chinese Communist Party didn't allow them to. So as soon as they allowed them to work and earn their own money and make their own way, they actually lifted themselves out of poverty. This has got nothing to do with the Chinese government. It does not get that credit.
It's only restricted them.
Yes.
It's done nothing to help the people.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
5,000 years.
let's move on to Slopaganda, guys. This is so tasteless, what they've done here. Okay, so we all know this Black Myth Wukong game, right?
Yeah.
All the gamers were really excited about this a while ago.
Black Myth Mid-Kong.
Yes.
It was okay. I played
it was
it.
fine. It's fine.
I gave it a 7. I lowered it to a 6 when I finished it.
It's one of those bigotry of low expectations things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, China made a game that's actually not
okay.
bad looking.
It's all right.
Anyway, here's the thing. They put this out. This is the official Chinese military put this out.
This is what gives me hope. China's just bluffing and they suck
Yeah.
it. Their military sucks.
Yes, take a look.
Sick quarter pipe.
Yeah.
I want to do tricks.
Dropping paratroopers. Look, he multiplies, and then all of a sudden they've got lots of helicopters.
This is official.
It's official. From the Chinese government.
It's from the PLA.
Yep.
Plan. Is this plan?
No, it was like there's some strategic command or some shit. I can't remember.
But it is official.
It's official.
So they peppered in Black Myth Mid-Kong.
Yes. Then look, it's like he's invisible, right? And then there's stealth fighter.
This is like a parody of itself.
Yes, look, he freezes a frog. And he's I'm sorry, okay, I'll turn it down a bit. So he freezes a frog and then drone. What does it have to do with anything? Now,
and then that's the bad part.
Yeah, here's the important part. Now they're showing that they're targeting Taiwan.
And they're gonna blow it up.
Pretty much. I mean, this is all about their reconnaissance abilities and how they can attack Taiwan.
Timu stealth, bro.
Yes, take a look. That's Taipei.
That's disturbing. Because you know what? Mm-hmm. When you talk about attacking another country, right? Because you need to defend yourself, or in this case, invade Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you show a military target, because what you just did was target the capital city. There are schools in this shot.
Yes.
There's schools in this shot.
Yeah, this is Taipei. This is like the middle of a city.
This is
all
a
civilian
city.
There's nothing military in the city.
There's not one military post here. Maybe a recruitment office. There's nothing else. There's a school. I know this area.
Yeah.
There are schools right there.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of sick.
Dirtbag.
It's kind of sick that
dirtbags.
They're using Black Myth Wukong, the people were enjoying playing the Monkey King to be like, we're going to murder children. It's pretty much it. Yeah. Anyway.
It's disturbing and ridiculous.
Well, guess what?
There's an analogy.
Yeah. America hits back.
Okay, let's see.
Right, guys. Because, I mean, look, China's just released its Black Myth Wukong, attacks and kills, children in Taiwan. What's America going to do?
Well, let's just preface this by saying this would be like if America did this.
This is a parody.
Yes. I gotta say, America's footage is way cooler.
Oh yeah, it's badass.
It's Sonic. Ripping it up. Look at him go.
Yeah.
I mean, literally imagine if America did this.
It's the same thing.
But
look, the three codes just stab. Oh no.
Oh no. Sonic, no.
Don't do it.
No, it's civilian infrastructure. Oh no. See, is that not the same?
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Sonic. Put it away. Don't high five over that, Sonic. I mean, that is literally the same thing. But you know what? Somehow that would be considered ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous when China does Black Myth Wukong and bombs Taiwan civilian infrastructure.
Come on, and drops paratroopers and stuff.
You freaking dirtbag.
I know.
I tell you what, though. Until Sonic bombed the Three Gorges Dam, I was starting to get pretty patriotic there.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic, we don't approve.
No.
We don't approve of that because that would lead to lots of civilian casualties, and we're not about that here.
But that is a good analogy. It's a good analogy.
Yeah. Honestly, we're just poking fun, but you see how absurd it is?
Yes.
To take a video game character.
It is so absurd.
Because the Black Myth Wukong is a video game. And they took a video game character and footage from a video game and incorporated into an actual military war propaganda showing how they can target Taiwan very successfully and easily. Isn't it pathetic? It's
ridiculous.
It's the same as Sonic blowing up the Three Gorges Dam.
It is.
It is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Wow, good. Doing well on our goal. We're over halfway to our goal.
Oh, wonderful.
So keep in mind there is a goal, a super chat goal right now. If we hit it, you're going to get a free episode of our Xiaoban Ho episodes.
Yes.
And it's
about
not a
the
random
90s.
one. It's about the 90s in China.
Correct.
So keep it up.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, let's get back to Soft Power Hour, guys. This is where we talk about how China's trying to change your mind.
This is just as important.
Yes, just as
trade
important.
war.
Yep.
Because you guys probably heard about this.
Mm.
China is now denying, well, they're kind of backtracking, but denying that there have been Chinese soldiers fighting for Russia in Ukraine.
Yes.
And there's a reason they have to do that. China's been trying to broker this we're going to solve this conflict. We're never involved in international conflicts. We have nothing to do with anything. Our people would never join an international conflict, right? The thing is, what just happened was Ukraine has found 155, actually identified 155 Chinese soldiers fighting for the Russian army that they've captured. But they suspect there's a lot more, right? Now China is in a kerfuffle right now because we didn't take sides in that. What are you talking about? We don't have anything to do with that, right? So they're putting out these things. They're actually kind of making it illegal to make irresponsible remarks. You can't say that there are Chinese soldiers in fighting for
I'll
Russia.
give you a little bit of an insight here because when the story broke, when they released footage of these 2 Chinese nationalists that they captured, nationalists,
Oh, okay.
They're nationalists,
I guess,
and they are nationals too.
Sure.
They're both. Okay, these 2. You're right though. 2 Chinese nationals. They showed their passports. Okay, with their pictures, their actual Chinese passports. They interviewed them. They're speaking Chinese, and when I shared it, I still had people saying those are fake Chinese. They're North Koreans
or Russians.
They're Russians. Said they're Russians. They're Russians that just look Chinese because you can get some Asian-looking Russians. You know, the amount of copium that was being spread, it's insane.
Well, it was clearly a campaign.
They were trying hard to deny this.
Let's see what the foreign ministry said themselves.
Yes. Okay. Let's take a look.
中方正在向乌方和
let me get us out so you can read that.
核实有关的情况。需要强调的是，中国政府始终要求本国公民远离武装冲突区域，避免以任何形式卷入武装冲突，尤其应避免参加任何一方的军事行动。这种说法毫无根据。 中方在乌克兰危机问题上的立场是清晰的、明确的，得到国际社会的广泛认可。乌方应正确看待中方为政治解决乌克兰危机问题所做的努力和发挥的建设性作用。
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So first the copium was they're not actually Chinese, and this is a big false flag. Well, then Ukraine goes, all right, let's interview these guys.
Let's interview them. Okay.
This is the first.
我叫张仁波，来自中国江西。我现在在乌克兰被俘虏。
Just to confirm, he is speaking Chinese natively.
Speaking perfect Mandarin and with a slight Jiangxi accent.
And we can recognize that. So there's no denying that this guy's Chinese. You can't try to pretend that he's a Chinese-looking Russian or someone else. He had his passport for crying out loud.
They show it.
Yeah.
But I've...
Мене звати Чан Рембо. Я громадянин Китаю з провінції Цзянсі. Зараз я перебуваю в полоні в Україні.
Чи брали ви участь в безпосередньо бойових діях проти військових ЗСУ?
这是我第一次出任务，也是当时就是我第一次经历战斗。我没有，我自始至终都没有开过一个枪。
It's
interesting. I mean, this guy, he's just said that it's the first time he's fired a gun. It's the first time he's been in any kind of combat. Just doesn't know what on earth he's doing. But suddenly he's in the middle of this conflict.
You'll see why.
Yeah, we're going to show you why. That's the important part is we uncovered some things which you won't see elsewhere. You may have seen this interview before, but you won't have seen what we've uncovered.
Бойове завдання. До цього я не брав участь у бойових завданнях. І до того, як я потрапив туди, я ніколи не тримав зброю в руках.
我叫王广军.
Ван Гуандзюн. Мене звати Ван Гуандзюн. Я громадянин Китаю.
Чжунжоу,
Чжунжоу. Я з провінції Ханань, місто Чжунжоу, мені 34 роки, і я зараз знаходжусь в Україні в полоні.
В якому складі вони здали?
我就傻傻的待在那里，然后我感觉我已经要死窒息了，然后乌克兰的战士已经跑出去，他又下来拉着我的领子，把我给拽了上去，但是在拽的过程当中我已经昏迷了。
Вже коли він здався в полон, росіяни скинули якусь вибухівку з газами, він знаходився всередині укриття, надихався цим газом Він думав, що він вже загине, але український військовий прибіг, витягнув його за шкірки зовні, і вже після того він втратив свідомість.
So China is freaking out about this, and I'm going to take you inside their internet from the stuff that I guess they forgot to hide.
Yeah.
Because they're claiming that there is no recruitment for Chinese people. There's no recruitment for Chinese people to join the war effort in Russia.
Yeah, and they tell that the Chinese people they shouldn't be involved. They should stay away from armed conflicts. That type of thing.
Here's the deal. It doesn't matter where you stand on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It literally doesn't matter. What matters is China doing what it says versus what it secretly does in the background. And the problem with this is that if you allow something on the Chinese internet, it means it's allowed to be there.
It means you endorse it.
The government gets rid of anything that's against what they're supposed to be doing.
That's something people have to realize, is that the censorship of the Chinese internet is the most sophisticated censorship of any internet, anything in the entire world. They can, in an instant, get rid of keywords, get rid of topics, get rid of channels, shut down entire social media. It doesn't matter. If you literally type down with Xi Jinping, you're going to get a knock on your door.
Within minutes.
Within minutes. All of your social media will be instantly disappeared.
Yes.
And if you are talking about a subject that they don't like, it gets completely removed. So, for instance, recruitment videos to join the Russian army are being allowed, as we can see here, on the Chinese internet.
In fact, a ton of them. So they're denying this at an official level and just play it.
Yeah. Look. And I just want to tell you once more that if the Chinese government was against this, it would not be allowed.
It wouldn't have
It's
been
not allowed. It's not allowed on the Chinese internet. If you tried to type in like Russian recruitment or Russian army or anything, it'd be blocked.
They would block the keywords if they were so concerned about that, if they wanted to follow the rules.
So these are just some of the examples of the recruitment videos that are out there.
They're everywhere. And you could say, oh, maybe they're just like a little window into Russia. Maybe they just want to know what recruitment looks like in Russia, right? Well, that's just not true, because there are so many examples of this. We can prove to you that these are recruitment videos to get people to join. And we'll show you some proof here.
Yeah.
So I just want to show you some evidence here that it's prolific. It's all across Chinese video media.
Yes.
Right? It's literally everywhere. It's so funny to be able to go to the internet, like the foreign ministry, to go like this. This doesn't exist. And meanwhile we go, this exists.
Yes.
Right.
Who do you believe?
Can you scroll forward? We don't need to keep seeing this. I do want to show you some actual.
Oh, I just want to show you the scope.
Sure. Okay. That's a good point.
It's good to show the scope. I mean, this is it's good to know.
That's true. You make a good point.
I'll fast forward it a bit,
But here, okay, so it's one thing to show, this is what the Russian army looks like, but then they translate these recruitment videos.
Yeah,
Chinese.
why would they be translated with Chinese subtitles?
So that's what got me started thinking. I was like, there's going to be some overt stuff that actually is trying to recruit people, right?
Yes.
So they have all these these are from the Russian military recruitment videos.
兄弟们，现在身后呢就是俄罗斯现在每条街道上都有的这个征兵广告，我手上呢也有一份，上面写了 Nastoyashaya Murskaya Roboda， 真正男人的工作啊。我们看一下他现在有什么福利待遇，一次性呢会给你69万5千卢布的补助。
How much is that in RMB, do you think?
He says. This is a Chinese guy in Russia,
oh, okay.
Speaking Chinese, just so people know.
Okay, yeah. So he's in Russia. He's speaking Chinese. He's
looking at recruitment.
Looking at the recruitment, translating to Chinese people, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you get $6,800 when you join up. That's pretty good, actually.
You think you get that?
No, but I'm just saying,
let's separate.
No, I can understand why you'd get these random dudes turning up that have never held a gun before.
From Henan.
So see this, right?
一部分呢是中央给的，一部分呢是当地的政府给的。之后每个月呢会有这个20万4千的每个月的工资，相当于人民币的1万多块钱。那么如果一个男人当兵之后呢，他可以享受提前退休，包括买房呢也会有50%的贷款。
Early retirement.
Early retirement,
I just accidentally forgot to do the subtitle there.
Yes, 50% house purchase. So they're saying you earn $1,400 a month, which, by the way, is a large salary for China.
That's why it says you want RMB. Yeah, right. So in China, 10,000 RMB is like a great salary.
Yeah,
more than the average person.
Yeah, it's more than the average. I know that doctors, for instance, earn more than that, but not that much more. It'll be closer to $2,000 for a doctor. So I mean, you're earning a very high level salary then. Okay, and you get
也有一些在别的地区做公共交通会有优惠，还有
Ooh, you get discounts on public transport in St. Petersburg. I can't wait. Yes, that's what I want.
Anyway, let's focus
每
on
年
what
的
the
这
real
个
problem is here.
免费旅游
Free trip
这个
area.
后面的都是报名地址。如果是你的话，你会去参加吗？
如果是你的话，
你会参加吗?
Yeah.
So he literally says all of the details to sign up are on the back of this.
Yeah.
And who knows what's in the other videos, like the media, there could be screenshots of it. So that got me even more thinking. I was like, now this is getting dangerously close. First, there's plausible deniability in the beginning to be like, oh, I'm just interested to see what recruitment ads are like in Russian. Then I'm like, wait, why are they translating them? Now there's a guy standing under a recruitment sign in Russia.
Yes.
Translating a brochure of all the benefits you get and then asking them after saying, this is where you contact everybody.
What would you decide?
If you were in this position, what would you do?
Yeah, what would you do? Would you do this? Yeah.
So I started thinking, I'm like, there's got to be more overt stuff than this because this is like a tease. It keeps
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
worse, right?
Okay.
Continue.
All right, let's see.
So there's videos at the wazoo of all this stuff. People have a big either people have a massive fascination or this stuff's being
The
promoted.
fascination with recruitment.
Yeah.
What's with this?
So then I look at this and
Okay.
I go, I blocked out the QR code so we don't do
Yeah.
any recruitment here, but pause this.
Okay.
This is a recruitment ad on a Russian street. All over Russian street, there are recruitment ads with clear price tags, okay? And you're like, Then it says, foreigners can also join up. If you want to enlist, just call. There's always a need for new recruits. It's active recruitment for the
Yes.
Russian military on
Absolutely.
the Chinese internet.
Yeah, look at that.
Put out by Chinese people. So there was a concerted effort. In fact, I found tons of these.
Lots of these, yeah.
They're still up. They're still up as of right now.
Okay.
I got these yesterday, I believe. Look at this. It's just over and over again. There's QR codes, there's sign-ups. This is how you sign up. This is how you participate. This is
Yeah.
what you get, right?
Yeah,
Look at
one-time
this.
payment, and whatever. Yeah.
Tells you how much you get, what it's for, and then it got even worse, right?
Okay.
There's active recruitment posters, and they translate like line by line what you get
Yeah.
with the money, and then a guy showing, this is my passport, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's
You
this
should
this
do it
weird
too.
pixelated mess
Yes,
is
that's
his passport. We saw
that
it. Yeah.
was not obscure.
He's like, this, I can do it. I'm Chinese. Here's my passport. I'm in Russia. I did it. You can do it
There
too.
was lots of these.
Yes.
Right. So it went from, plausible deniability to, no, this is active recruitment for the Russian military
Yeah.
in China, right?
Correct.
Now, what the involvement of the Chinese government is in this, at least at the very minimum,
He's endorsing it by not censoring
by
it.
not censoring it.
Because
right?
they
'Cause it breaks
censor
the rules, right?
everything. They censor everything that they don't want and they don't like.
Yes.
If it's allowed, it means that they are okay with it.
Yes. So again, it doesn't matter how you feel about this conflict. You can even be Ukrainian or Russian watching this, has nothing to do with that. What this matters is China breaking its own rules of what it says it does or doesn't do.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's completely different. And like we said, China is this outward-facing sheep, and within its borders is the CCP is a massive wolf.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's just how it is. So again, if you can't look at this is even worse, isn't it? Can you read that?
If you can't handle the pressure of life, you absolutely must be able to withstand the recoil of an AK-47.
I mean, these are just active recruitment for just getting Chinese people to join.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
When you got people on the ground in Russia doing it too, like Chinese people, there's got to be some sort of level of cooperation.
Yes.
There, right.
Correct.
And again, the fact that this is still up is shocking to me. That they're trying to claim that there are no real numbers of Chinese people doing this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fact that they're saying,
outta here.
no, we tell Chinese people to stay away from armed conflict, but then we allow Russian recruitment videos to be translated and disseminated all over the Chinese
All over
internet.
Chinese internet. And then
Yes.
people showing their documents proving they're going to do
Yes, and proving that they're there.
It's like, even it goes both ways too. If you
Yeah.
show this is a pro CCP PLA ad shown in Russia.
Yes.
And what they've done is retranslate it back into Chinese to show, look at our cooperation, right?
Yes.
So there's all this deniability of like Russia and China cooperating on any sort of official level.
Yeah.
And then you have things like those Russia friendship shops popping up all over China where they're trying to fund the war
Yes,
with
to
getting
fund
Chinese
the
people
war, yeah.
to buy things. So again, there's reality and there's what's hidden, right? And that's a big problem, I
Correct.
think. Like whether you want to talk about this conflict or anything else, you have to look at China not at face value. You have to look a little bit behind the scenes and figure out what its true ambitions are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been backing Russia from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a different issue than anything. Just look at China, say, what's behind the curtain there?
Yeah.
You know?
And there it is.
Yes.
You can see proof that active recruitment, videos are going around on the Chinese internet.
Yeah, and
Fully
then
translated.
denying it on an international level.
Yes. Anyway, time for Worldview, guys. This is where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. And I wanted to start out with this tea leaf thing, which has got nothing to do with the world and everything to do with China.
Yes, but it does because it's kind of related to unemployment, which is tariff related as well.
Now, I would like you guys to pay attention to the video. Forget the one that's right next to me here. The one that's on the far right, okay? It'll be the far left for me, the right for you, whatever. The one on that side, okay?
What are you trying to say?
The one that my right hand is pointing towards, okay?
You're not saying I'm far right and you're far left.
No, because then you'd be far left. And I'd be, because I'm on the right.
True.
Anyway,
we're both moderates, by the way.
Yes, I'm more conservatively leaning, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
it doesn't matter.
Definitely not socially. I'm Catholic. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can eat meat or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm meat free today.
Yeah. So guys, take a look at the one with the mattresses, because it's important what the guy says. Okay.
目前靠到左边睡，2个人一个床垫啊。
2 people per mattress.
Yes. I mean, this is the working conditions at the team.
等一下，还有
And
一
you
责
notice
任。
these are young people. Yeah. And these are young people that are not country bumpkins. We know a country bumpkin when we see one. We've been literally on hand-built motorcycles across the entire country.
Exactly.
Of tens and tens of thousands of kilometers. Yes. We've seen everything. These are young, unemployed people working on tea plantations.
And what he said next was, another busload is about to arrive. That's why he's like, okay, 2 people per mattress because another busload of workers are arriving soon.
So make space.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to sleep 2 people to a mattress in those kind of conditions in what looks like a corrugated iron shed?
This is the current condition.
You do realize, by the way, if you look at these corrugated iron sheds, okay, there's no insulation.
Tea plantations are in the hottest parts of China.
Yeah, it's
some of the hottest parts.
Exactly, and it just depends on the season. You're either going to be freezing or you're going to be boiling.
It could be wicked cold or wicked hot.
But I guess you got the body warmth of the person stuck next to you like a sardine.
Yeah, and these bed bug mattresses.
The thing is that the reason to even show this is the conditions of people in China right now, the conditions to work are definitely getting worse.
Young people with degrees.
Yeah.
You know, you got master's degrees people coming out.
Yeah.
And they're making $100 take home a month.
Yeah.
In some of these professional positions.
It's quite disappointing. It's terrible. And the fact that they're blustering about these tariffs, before we continue, I just have to reiterate, because I know a lot of people in China and know a lot of people who have office jobs, and I know a lot of people who work in factories.
Yes.
And the amount of people that are going to lose their jobs is staggering. Oh, absolutely staggering, because China cannot, the majority of the stuff that gets shipped out ends up in America.
Yep.
Okay? Quite seriously, the majority of stuff that they're making, all these gadgets and gizmos and little fixtures and
stuff. Yeah, out of their percentage of exports, it's, yeah, for them, yeah.
It ends up in Home Depot, or it ends up on Amazon, or it ends up in whatever shop. Those factories that are making all this stuff employ so many people. And when the demand goes away, the factories are going to have to shut down or scale back massively.
Yes.
They cannot afford it. It's going to affect so many people's lives. It's actually devastating when you think about it.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not that's not a joke. It's actually going to be devastating.
Yeah, and they can bluster all they want and say we don't need America or we can stand by ourselves, but that's not true. Without the American public buying all this tat all the time, which I'm against that stuff. I don't need cheap rubbish Christmas decorations.
I made a video literally about that exact thing that will probably be out tomorrow.
Right.
Check it out.
But at the same time, those cheap, crappy Christmas decorations that you use for one season and probably never again because they're not great, they are supplying jobs to countless people in China, tens of millions of people to make this tat. And it's just horrible that it's going to go away overnight, because families are going to be affected. The whole country is going to be affected. And you know what? It's avoidable.
It was all played by the rules.
If the Chinese government weren't such blustering wankers, if they didn't care about face that much, they would really be able to spare the lives of the Chinese people. Now, in China, they're putting out all these mocking AI, videos of fat Americans, like making Nike shoes
yeah.
or whatever, and they're all ha about it. But it's not going to be ha.
It's not funny to the factory workers.
No,
the 100 million factory workers.
Exactly, because like you can make fun of it all you want, but all you're doing is hurting your own people.
Yeah, for face.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is this was avoidable not because of, I don't even want to bring up the Trump trade war thing. This was avoidable from decades ago when you entered into the WTO.
If you stuck to the rules.
If you stuck to the rules like the rest of the world and traded with everyone, you could be a prosperous, rule-abiding country that offered freedom to your citizens.
Yeah, but they're sneaky.
Yeah, because it's the
deceitful.
Communist Party of China. They cannot operate with a rules-based system. They just can't
break the rules. Rules for thee, but not for me.
CCP is a disgusting, despicable dictatorship that pretends to be something it's not.
Yeah, it's the same people that were in charge of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Yep.
It's the same people that annexed Tibet.
Yep.
It's the same people that caused millions and millions of people to starve to death. It's the same people that have polluted the world, destroyed the seas, outfished the seas.
You want to see something scary?
Yes.
This is everywhere.
In the Beijing airport. Now, usually you have adverts up there for like Wang Laoji or something, or Coca-Cola or
watches.
Or some whatever.
Watches.
Yeah, seagull watches, because that's what you want in your life.
Chivas Royale.
Yes, that's right.
Hennessy.
Vsop,
Vsop Hennessy.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what you'd see.
But now they've been replaced
with wolves.
Sept wolf socks and cigarettes. Yeah. They have been replaced with these messages, which says, unify and defend national sovereignty and mainland national unity.
No pun intended. Reading the tea leaves is very important for this episode. And again, if you're watching this and you kind of want to read on where China's going, the fact that they're posting Mao overtly with like war threats, and now the Beijing airport, and this is the face of the world, is the Beijing airport, right?
Yeah.
Is putting up basically preparation for war propaganda.
Yes. Yeah. Unification propaganda.
Based on what we're seeing right now, particularly if you go Google something later, look up how barges are going to make the invasion much easier for China.
Yeah, of Taiwan.
There's a lot of things that really, really are building up to the precursors of war.
Yeah.
And probably an invasion of Taiwan. And I think our timeline is much sooner than we previously had thought.
Yes.
Everyone. I think everyone's like kind of looking at it now like sooner than later now, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking in a couple of years, maybe 2 years, and I'm thinking maybe a couple months.
I was thinking 2 to 5 years if it was going to happen. Right?
Again, it's always too difficult, and I've never wanted to put a timeline on this, and I've never wanted to be like, it's actually going to happen.
We
because
still won't.
They always kick the can.
Yes,
they always renege.
It's looking very creepy right now.
But I'm a little bit concerned because of the current rhetoric.
Yeah.
Because of the current trade war. Yeah. I really do think China's being backed into a corner of their own making.
Yeah.
They've done it to themselves.
Yeah.
But now they're might lash out. They might actually do something foolish.
Yeah.
And it'll be all their fault.
Yeah.
It'll be the Chinese government's fault.
It's true.
If something does kick off.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not good to see this kind of rhetoric going around. By the way, can I just say, and you can back me up on this.
Bollards, dude.
Yeah, I know. When you're in China, isn't it so freaking insulting how you see these ads and stuff that basically paint the outside world as an enemy?
Yeah.
They actually have like recruitment ads and stuff where they're like, we're going to fight America, that type things in your face all the time.
Yeah.
But then to the outside world, they're like, oh, it's racist if you say the COVID-19 came from Wuhan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't it piss you off?
Is that not an analogy for what I just said?
Yeah.
What they put out is very different than what's inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know, let's lighten the mood a little bit here. Sorry about getting dark there for a minute. And hopefully things work out. We'll see. We have a Monday Secret Show.
We do.
By the way, did we hit our goal yet?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, come on. Before we do anything, I've got a special thing for that. Goal achieved. Ah, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you share it out?
We do it right now?
Yeah. I mean, come on. We hit the goal. That's the rules.
Let's freaking do it.
We're going to put in the live chat now.
I'll pin it.
And we'll put a pinned comment.
Just making sure it was right. Yep, that's right.
Okay. For the China in the 90s episode that we put out on our secret show. We'd love you all to go and take a look and see if you enjoy it as much as we did.
It was a good one. People loved that one.
Well, I mean, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
I'm going
And
to
by
pin
the
it.
way, thank you to the generosity of everybody who participated
Seriously.
in the super chat goal. We promise this is not something that we'll ever abuse. We just every once in a while, we want to put something out there for everyone.
It's
and
fun.
Thank you.
And
I
you guys
enjoy
are
it.
freaking amazing
It's
for helping us out
excellent.
like that. That helps a lot, especially right now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Speaking of Xiaoban Ho, while everybody gets that link loaded up to watch later, this is what you missed last week. Let's take a look. Xiaoban Ho.
Who
great
goes
logo.
in here with hairy, long, bushy animals, sees a whole ass bird that you'd see on a power line, and goes, "How much for
Yeah.
that one, please?"
I want the bird, feathers and all.
Garbage juice and bleach and fish. You've never put something so big in your mouth that you're
No, I haven't.
My claim was that I actually saw the Easter Bunny.
It was somewhat misrepresented because I think the whole world thought that Chinese people just eat bat soup.
And they
but,
don't.
But they do.
If you had to pick one person you'd screw over to save yourself, who's catching that bus and why? So, that was our episode. It was why do Chinese people eating dangerous stuff for medicine? It was pretty ridiculous. We also had Hey Bye Die, which is an interactive game. If you join the live
I hate
here.
that game because I always get the bad questions and you never do.
I know.
They're always very uncomfortable questions to answer.
If you join the live tier on patreon.com/ADV podcast, what you'll do is you'll be able to actually participate in our interactive games during that episode. And if you're not, if you want to take advantage of the half price sale, you get the episode right after it goes live.
That's right.
You also get access to our entire library. China's stupid fake van life epidemic. That was episode 142. China's sus delivery core driver videos. That was very
that
sus.
was interesting.
We did a blind beer taste.
We
Europe
actually
versus
tasted all these
America
beers. We got
versus
some of them
China.
right,
We
actually.
did.
Most of them.
China's racy, weird homemade soap operas. What China was like in the 90s, which you
now-
just got.
Yes.
And again, if you can you pause it there?
I will.
If you join us right now at the live tier, at the top tier right there, you'll have access to our live games, what we do live. You get to watch it live, and you also get to pick the next episode.
Also, if you want to, you can enter the Wheel of Fortune, and if you win, every week's got a new winner. We write you your own personal Chinese name. That
means
very
something.
well thought out.
We
name.
take a week to think about
Yes,
it.
and we write it out, show you what it's like. It's all good fun.
Half price right now for Xiaoban Ho. This is the best way to support us because you get access. It's not just like, here, have some money for a donation. You get access to 100+ episodes of some of the most fun we have all week.
Yeah, we really enjoy Xiaoban.
We love it. So
Yeah.
join.
Yes, and if you join the $10 tier, as soon as we finish with the live show, we then publish it for you, and you get to access it directly after the live tier.
Nice.
And if you just join the $5 a month, you get access to our Discord server, and on top of that, you get access to the full shows with the full Q&A that we
The
cut
China
out on
show,
Monday. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of
do we have a title for Xiaoban Ho?
what this, well, I've got the old one.
Sorry, yeah, patreon.com/ADV podcast. That's where you
Yes.
get access to it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And now it's time for Yamcha. This is our Q&A segment where we answer your questions and you question our answers. Now, for those of you who are watching live and on the weekend, we can stick around. But for those of you who are watching on, say, Monday or something, we bid you adieu. Stay awesome, and we'll catch you next time. Anyway, it's Friday. Time to